Welcome to our press launch of BVI Restaurant Week 2013 and the first ever Anegada Lobster Festival. I want to thank everyone who's here. I know we have some restaurants who are still on their way. I see we have Mayet's here. We have our junior chef champion, Chef Arik here. I want to thank all the media. I see we have quite a bit of tourist board staff here, always here supporting each other. So I want to thank everyone for coming and helping us to launch this exciting, creative, lovely, wonderful event. I don't know how many adjectives I can come up to describe these two events that we have worked so hard to pull together. Let me preface by saying I am Rodney Skelton. I am the film commissioner and events marketing manager within the tourist board. As you'll see, I'm wearing two hats, as many of us do. We have quite a dynamic set of colleagues working with us, and many of us hold two hats. So today I'm wearing my hat as the events marketing manager within the tourist board. Again, this is something that all we're going to talk about. I'm very excited. I feel the energy bubbling. Can't wait to dive into talking about Restaurant Week 2013 and the Anegada Lobster Festival. However, protocol must be established. And I'd like to take this time to introduce the steward, the person who has been behind the scenes guiding us, trying to make sure that these two events happen, and they happen on the highest level, and the BVI is represented the way we should be represented. So at this time, I'd like to pass the mic over to our very own director, Mrs. Sharon Flax-Mars, director of the British Virgin Islands Tourist Board.
Thank you, Mr. Skelton. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of our press corps, restaurant partners, and of course our BVI Tourist Board team members, and the press secretary for the Premier's office. On behalf of the British Virgin Islands Tourist Board, I welcome you to our press launch this morning for our second annual BVI Restaurant Week and our inaugural Anegada Lobster Festival. Two distinct culinary events that are sure to place the BVI on the map of excellence for food aficionados around the globe. To set the tone of excitement for our 2013-2014 tourism season, we are thrilled to present these two events, which have been designed to expand our culinary tourism product. These days, travelers are seeking opportunities to connect with the people and the communities of the countries or islands that they visit. They want to experience the culture and the fabric of a nation beyond the traditional excursions and activities. They want to engage with people in unique settings and capture memories that truly identify their traveling experience. As many of you know, our guests are accustomed to dining when they visit a destination. However, our Restaurant Week introduces a journey through our islands and keys, and it allows an experience that will acquaint the guests with our local scene, our chefs, and our shores. These week-long activities then segue into the Anegada Lobster Festival, where we will flock to the island of Anegada for spiny lobster, a little bit of adventure, and bragging rights. Our BVI community and those who visit our shores are essential to our tourism pillar. We recognize that our tourism industry is one of the most diverse in the Caribbean, and we strive to enhance our experiences. Our Premier and Minister for Tourism, Dr. the Honorable D. Orlando Smith, who is unfortunately away on business travels and unable to join us today, has offered his remarks, and on his behalf, I would like to share them with you. And I quote, "I welcome these initiatives championed by the BVI Tourist Board. They represent the government's tourism mission of approaching the tourism sector from all angles." I have said this before. The time has come for the entire territory to adopt the mantra, tourism is all our business. I continue to say that the BVI must begin to sell more than sun, sand, and sea. As everyone is saying, theirs is the best. By promoting our local cuisine as a niche product, we are definitely positioning the territory as a prime destination for exquisite dining. I believe that the BVI culinary team, with its many award-winning skills over the years, has positioned the BVI well to capitalize on culinary tourism. It is now up to us to continue to build on this vibrant legacy they have started. I encourage restaurants throughout the territory to do all they can to attract food connoisseurs locally and from around the world. Treat them to a memorable dining experience so that the word can spread. Equally, I invite everyone to come out and taste the best of the British Virgin Islands. And he quotes, "I am pleased that the board is doing all that is necessary to establish the British Virgin Islands as a global brand. We must welcome more visitors to our shores. We must create efficiencies. We must create fresh market opportunities. And most of all, we must work together to make the sector more vibrant for the benefit of all of the people of the territory." And I turn you over to Mr. Skelton.
Thank you. And now we get into what we're here about, the exciting part of what we're about. This is 10 days, 2 events, culinary cuisine, culinary delight, culinary adventure. Firstly, I will give you a brief overview of both events, and then we'll open up the floor for questions from the media. You'll have a chance to speak to some of the participating restaurants and sponsors who are in the audience. But before I do that, I want to introduce my all-star team, the team that has been working, doing all the grunt work, all the dirty work to make sure everything is pulled off. I want to start by, to my left, far back, we have Meslyn Allen, who works as the film and events officer within the Tourist Board. She is responsible for overall dealing with the Restaurant Week as well as the Tortola Taste of the BVI event that you'll hear more about. Back center, we have Shireen Flax-Charles, and she is working with the Virgin Gorda aspect of our event. It's the Virgin Gorda Taste of the BVI, and she is our Sister Islands coordinator. And last but not least, we have Kalitha Henry. There she is in the back. And she works with our public relations team, and she is responsible for the exciting Anegada Lobster Festival that we are kicking off this year for the first time. That being said, let me jump right into Restaurant Week 2013. Restaurant Week 2013, anyone who's traveled around the world, most tourist destinations does have a Restaurant Week. This offers a chance for you to go dine at a Myatt's, dine at Sugarcane, dine at Cowrick for just a fraction of the cost. This is an opportunity to tell the wife, put the mitts down, you don't have to cook tonight. Or tell the husband, you don't have to cook tonight. And you get a chance to go out, sample foods from all of these great restaurants that we have in the BVI. We have tourists that come from far and away, spend lots of money to enjoy some of what we have here day in and day out. This is our chance to get a chance to go out, wine, dine your family, wine, dine your spouse for, again, just a fraction of the cost. Our Restaurant Week this year is taking place from November 22nd to December 1st. This is taking place across all of the main inhabited islands of the British Virgin Islands. We kick off Restaurant Week on Friday, November 22nd. That starts at the Noah Lloyd Park from 11 to 4 p.m. and that is our Tortola Taste of the BVI. Gotta check myself again, a little tight on Tortola Taste of the BVI. That happens in the Noah Lloyd Park from 11 to 4, and then on the following Saturday, the next Saturday, the following day, we have the Virgin Gorda Taste of the BVI, and this happens in the Virgin Gorda Marina, right in the big open area, the big open parking lot that we have there. What these events are, some of the participating restaurants in Restaurant Week, they're going to be offering samples of food, sample of drinks, confectionaries, different things that they offer at their restaurants. So this is a chance for you to come out, sample a little bit of what everybody has, and lay out where you're going to eat for that entire week. One thing that we really want to focus on, and something that we're very excited about at the Taste of the BVI events, we are going to have our Celebrity Chef Cook-Off. This is an opportunity for some of our local chefs to face off with our celebrity chef and our junior chef champion, Arik Flax. Our celebrity chef that we have for this year, you guys have it in your press kits, is celebrity chef Federer. And he is well known in the culinary world. He is going to be on the next season of Chopped. He has his own brand of food and culinary delights. Again, Chef Fed brings his own marketing, his own promotions. When Chef Fed travels, the rest of the culinary world travels with him. He's going to be assisted by our sous chef, Chef Arik Flax, who's going to get a chance to say a couple of words as well. This cook-off competition is happening both at the Tortola Taste of the BVI as well as the Virgin Gorda Taste of the BVI. It's happening right there. Chef Fed is going to be in the middle. We're going to flank him with two of our best chefs that we have, and they're going to go head-to-head. Mystery basket. The event is intended to be fun. We don't want anyone to get too serious and bogged down. We're not winning $10,000 like we are on Chop. But this is just a chance for our chefs to show that they are on par with the best chefs that we have in the world. It's also a chance for our junior chef champion to be able to shadow, get some experience, get some exposure as well. I haven't tasted his hand as yet, but everything that I've heard so far is for a young chap, Chef Arik is top-notch. So I'm looking forward to, at that cook-off event, sampling some of what Chef Arik prepares. So that's going to be one of the key ingredients to our Taste of the BVI events. We also have for Restaurant Week, we're going to be having a celebrity chef wine and dine. Some of those details are still being finalized, so we will be able to present that a little bit later. That will come out in the media as we continue our marketing promotions. That more than likely will take place on Virgin Gorda, and this is a chance to sample again some of what Chef Federer has to offer, Chef Arik has to offer in a nice upscale atmosphere. All right? Just so that as a note, everything that I'm speaking about, you guys do have in your press kit, so you can follow along. Anything that I haven't mentioned, it's also in your press kit, and my wonderful team will be glad to answer questions at the end of this press launch. I'll quickly jump over into what could be one of the most exciting events that we've had in the BVI for quite some time, and that is the Anegada Lobster Festival. What we have found is that lots of folks here in the BVI, older folks, mature folks, folks don't like when you call them old.
No.
More mature folks, more seasoned folks have never been to Anegada. And that in and of itself is a travesty. We're trying to create an event that is going to be able to expose our locals to Anegada, get them a chance to go around and see or one of our sister islands, as well offer an opportunity for our tourists to get out to Anegada, see what Anegada is all about. Our Anegada Lobster Festival is taking place on November 30th and December 1st. The idea behind the Anegada Lobster Festival is to use our spiny lobster. We've all been away, we've all had red lobsters with the big, we call them gundies. I hope that's the name that we use here. But they have the big gundies with all the meat in it. It tastes okay. Nothing compares to BVI spiny lobster. And so we're going to use that spiny lobster as the platform to get folks over to Anegada. What's happening for the event? We have 8 participating restaurants. Again, in your press kit, you have them all listed. I don't want to start listing them and then I miss one. Each participating restaurant is going to provide sampler lobster dishes. They're either going to be prepared 3 different ways or come with 3 different dips prepared by the chef of that restaurant. You go to the restaurant, you spend between $10 and $12 to get a lobster sampler. You sample some lobster and peanut butter sauce, lobster with pineapple and almond dressing, or whatever these wonderful chefs come up with. You sample those, you have a beverage, you get a chance to experience the atmosphere of a cow wreck, of a big bamboo, of Neptune's Treasure, Whistling Pines, any of those restaurants. And when you leave, once you've had that sampler, you're going to get a color-coded set of beads. So for example, Big Bamboo may be blue. Neptune's Treasure may be green. When you leave, you put your beads on. Now, you don't have to take anything off to get these beads. This is not Mardi Gras. But you get the beads. If you have had 5 different colored beads, it means that you have visited 5 different participating restaurants. You come back to the tourist board tent, we'll be stationed, our staff is going to be all around. We're going to take full advantage of this opportunity to be over in Anegada as well. And we have some wonderful gift bags for anyone who has had at least 5 different colored beads. We're going to have branded material and shirts and hats, and I don't want to give away all that we're going to have, but we plan to have really nice gift bags for all of our guests that come over for the Anegada Lobster Festival. Now, when you come over, we're going to have a nice kid-friendly map. You cannot miss. If you have a 6-year-old kid, you can sit, you can drive, and your 6-year-old kid can get you around Anegada. I don't think people realize how big Anegada really is. It's flat, but it's pretty big. So we're going to have little maps. On those maps, we're going to mark out where the restaurants are. We're going to say points of interest that we have. We have lots of historic sites over on Anegada. All of those are going to be labeled on the map. And this is a chance for you and your family. We noticed, we went over on a couple of weeks ago, and there were tourists all around Anegada on scooters. We stopped them, we talked to them. How easy was it to get around? Everything was easy. It works. So you and your family can rent one of the vehicles that they have over in Anegada. You can jump on scooters and just have a nice excursion with your friends. Or we do have safaris that are also going to be available that we can just jump on and do group tours. We want to promote this as an island adventure. You know, jump off. Everyone knows that over on Anegada, we have the lovely pink flamingos. We're going to mark out those spots along the course as well. Stop. Check out the flamingos as they pass by. There's lots of native animals, and we have the iguana sanctuary that we have over in Anegada as well. There's lots to see, lots to do. We want you to take your time, go around, spend the whole day, enjoy everything that Anegada has to offer. Now, the big question, how do we get over to Anegada? We have some wonderful partners on board. We have Smith's Ferry. We have Roadtown Fast Ferry who's come on board. We have Speedies. We have New Horizon. And they're all offering not only special discounts on fares, but they're also offering special trips. We know right now the boats only go over Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, for this event, the ferries are going to go over from 10 o'clock on Saturday and on Sunday. They leave Tortola 10 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. We're finalizing with Speedies what time they're going to leave from Virgin Gorda and New Horizon as well from Jos van Dijk. But we leave Tortola at 10, and you can stay over, have a great time. We want you to overnight, but in case you can't overnight, the ferries do come back at 10 o'clock p.m. on Saturday and 9 p.m. on Sunday. No excuse. There is no reason for any BVI lander to not come over and check out the Anegada Lobster Festival. We think we have done great homework and research and put a lot of work into this to make sure that everyone can have an opportunity to benefit from these wonderful events that we're putting in place. So if you're familiar with Anegada, they're the inner restaurants like a Cow Wreck, like a Big Bamboo. But when you pull up to the dock, there's a Potter's by the Sea, there's Anegada Reef Hotel, there's a couple more along the strip. We are also having a sunset party over on Anegada. That starts at 4 p.m. on Saturday night, 4 p.m. on Sunday night. The entire beach is going to be lined off with tiki torches. We're trying to create that nice, romantic yet festive feeling on the beach. We're going to have them well lit from end to end, and we're asking folks to start from one end and make your way down. Lots of folks have, even if you've gone to Anegada, lots of folks have never been to Whistling Pines. Lots of folks have never been to Neptune's. You typically come to the dock and then you're going to Big Bamboo or Cow Wreck or one of those. There are lots of other wonderful restaurants, wonderful places over in Anegada. So yeah, we have the new restaurant and hotel that's set up over there. It's beautiful. They have a pool inland. I think that's the only pool on Anegada. We have Anegada Beach Club as well over there. There's lots to see. We are really, as you can tell, we are really excited about what we've put into place and about having these events over on Anegada. Like I said, we do have lots of scooters, lots of rentals. That was a concern. Once you get to Anegada, how do you move around? We can move everyone around. And we do have some of the persons over in Anegada, they're even looking to invest more into some of these vehicles, scooters, and things of the sort. But right now, we think we have enough to accommodate everyone that's over on Anegada. So in a nutshell, because I think it would be better if we feed questions from you guys, and I allow my all-star team, as I'm now calling them, to weigh in on these events. I want to take this time to thank our sponsors. Normally everything that we talk about here in the BVI is, especially from you guys in the media, what does it cost? What does it cost? Are we breaking the bank with these events? I am proud, happy, elated to say that these events are not breaking the bank. This is not coming on the backs, per se, of our taxpayers. We do have quite a bit of sponsors and partners, and we are getting everything for just about next to nothing. Everyone understands the importance of these events, from the ferries to the restaurants to suppliers like Super Value, Walmart. Everyone is on board. We are getting everything for next to nothing. And this is what we want to create in the Tourist Board, and this is something that the director has said from her first day. This is a partnership. The BVI Tourist Board, we cannot do it all. We are just the marketing arm of the BVI. We do understand the importance of products like these, but we can't do it by ourselves. Our budget doesn't allow for us to do it by ourselves. So we want to thank all the sponsors out there in your press kit. They are there. I don't want to, again, start naming them and then I miss out on a few. I'm sure my all-star team, they can weigh in on some of those that are really on board with us. But I want to thank everyone publicly, the restaurants, the partners, the junior chef, everyone, the director for having faith in us, the premier. He set the mandate, and we are trying to execute what the Minister of Tourism has mandated for us. So, with that being said, I'm going to shut up. My mouth is a little dry, and open up the floor for you guys in the media to ask any questions. Tear us apart. Don't tear us apart too badly. This is our first time doing many of these events, so we do understand that there are going to be some hiccups in the road. We're not going to get it 100%. But if we keep working and you guys keep working with us and helping us to promote the events in a positive light, I think we can grow this, and our Anegada Lobster Festival can become the premier food event in the British Virgin Islands. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean Rose, JTV News. I have counted 41 participating restaurants this year in the BVI Restaurant Week. Does that figure represent a significant improvement, minor improvement? Tell us, what is the difference in terms of the participation this year to, let's say, last year?
All right. Well, here is where I shut up and I get Ms. Meslin Allen, who is chairing our Restaurant Week, to come in and weigh in.
It is quite an improvement from last year. The numbers have almost doubled, and we are also expecting more restaurants to come on board as we get closer to the time. Last year we had 20-something, so this year 41 at the beginning stages is a really great improvement.
Thank you. Apart from that, more or less doubling of the figures, what incentives do you see in terms of the cost of some of these reduced meals? I know I saw some figures, but I can't recall what they were last year. So I think, though, that I heard on the ground that many people were not satisfied with the reductions. They figured that more could have been done. How can you encourage us that this was done and that we can actually participate?
Well, basically what we were trying to do and what we are doing is we're providing a level playing field for everyone, where you can go to a 5-star restaurant on island, or you can go to one of our mom and pop restaurants and get a good meal. It's about a 3 to 6 course meal. For dinner is $20 to $45, lunch is $10 to $15, and breakfast is $6 to $9. And these include a complimentary drink. It includes an awesome atmosphere and entertainment. So for a 3 to 6 course meal, I think it's a pretty awesome deal.
Malika McPherson Islandson. Just to follow up, the prices you quoted, they're per person, or are we looking for couple? What's the couple rates?
It's per person, and the prices will vary per restaurant. They will choose a price between the price range that I have listed. So everything that I've quoted is a per person. We do not have a per couple rate currently.
What might be interesting to note, if I may add, just for a little bit of clarity, most of the participating restaurants will have different menu options. So while there might be a prefix, 3 to 6 course dinner menu priced between the 20 and 45, the restaurant will still have their normal offerings. So the guests will have the option in some restaurants of more than one menu.
And of course, leading up to the time, we'll have all the menus online. You can see who is offering what. You can see for what prices. You can even see the complimentary drink that is being offered with the various menus.
And you'll notice, just so that I can introduce so that you can actually see now, we do have Kalitha Henry, who is chairing our Anegada Lobster Festival. So if you have any questions pertaining to the Anegada Lobster Festival, you can direct them to Miss Henry.
Ngovo Gang from the Beacon newspaper. What were some of the challenges you had last year that you'd be working on for this year, or things you'd be improving on this year?
Last year, we had a shorter time to get everything together and to pull off the event, which was successful. But this year, we have a lot more time, so we'll be doing a lot more marketing. The kickoff event, we're expecting it to be bigger and better, and we're expecting to reach even more tourists to come to the territory, as well as our locals to come and dine during Restaurant Week and also Anegada Lobster Festival.
You mentioned you'll be reaching tourists. At this stage, it's just about a month. I don't know much about, I shouldn't say I don't know much, but I know just a little about how this marketing go. How sure are you that you'll get quite a number of visitors to show up in just about a month plus?
Well, we actually have 2 months. If we do the math, we're in September now, we still have all the way to November. This is why we really wanted to get this press launch done so that you guys can help us get that information out there. However, we have done quite a bit of marketing overseas. We have advertisements out in Mako, in Zing, in Posh. We have been online with Save the Dates. Our overseas offices have already been pushing these events via Save the Dates. So we have been doing some work behind the scenes. I think at times we don't see it here on the ground, and we figure, well, what is the BVI Tourist Board doing? Not just for these events, but for all events. We have staff overseas, and they're working hard to promote it. The idea is to get them. If we promote it here alone, we won't get anyone but us. The idea is to have other folks coming in. So they're out there doing that work. And
I'm also already getting calls from persons overseas inquiring about these events and say, okay, I'm coming to the BVI. When are they? What is being offered? So I'm definitely expecting, a great participation this year.
For years, there's been a call from legislators and Anegadians for more events such as this over there because they felt they were left out. Yes. Is this the Tourist Board's response to that call, and what are the residents saying?
Yes, I would say that this is actually a direct response to what the Anegadians have been saying. Being from one of the out islands myself, I could definitely identify with what the Anegadians were saying. It is a mandate for us at the BVI Tourist Board to have more involvement from our sister islands. We've been to Anegada, we've conducted meetings, we've listened to what they've had to say, and in fact, the dates for the Anegada Lobster Fest were actually dates suggested by the Anegada community. So this is one of the vehicles. We always say sometimes it's good for us to start small and expand outwards, but I honestly believe as the members of our team that this can be a very great activity and a vehicle for culinary tourism, not only on Anegada, but the BVI, and that's why the focus on Anegada Lobster Fest, rather than just, you notice that most of the Caribbean islands it's either food and wine or food and rum or a food festival. Having it just even named the Anegada Lobster Festival has generated quite a bit of interest. And in working with our overseas agencies, we make sure to point out to them that there is a distinct difference between the Anegada spiny lobster versus the Maine lobster.
Um, how financially viable or how profitable was the restaurant week last year?
A lot of our restaurants really, they came back to us. Some of our restaurants actually had to turn back persons because they were full. I think we had a good response last year as it being the first year, and this year we're expecting even more, especially on our sister islands, and now Anegada is on board. And you know, a lot of people, we're expecting a lot of people to go to the different islands, especially in Just Van Dyke. You can go and spend the day. You have lunch at Sagi Dollar, and in the evening you go and have dinner at one of the other restaurants on Just Van Dyke. So it was a good turnout last year, but we're expecting a lot more this year as well. And
Can I add there as well too, from at the Tourist Board, we not only look at things from a financial standpoint as well, we're looking at educating our BV Islanders as to what our product is, and our Restaurant Week provides a vehicle for that as well too, because all of us, as the Premier keeps saying, you know, tourism is everybody's business. I like to say that as well too, and it's a vehicle, the Restaurant Week and the Anegada Lobster Fest are vehicles for BV Islanders to embrace our product, try a product. For example, you know, we have lunch every day. We're accustomed to having lunch at a certain place because of a certain price point. But Restaurant Week gives us the opportunity to maybe have lunch at a more upscale restaurant at a price point. If it is that we get a question from a visitor, we can speak more positively and from an education standpoint as to what that dining experience is, what it is to visit Anegada. We have options now where you can take the ferry to Virgin Gorda at night for a culinary experience, or a visitor staying on Virgin Gorda can take the ferry and come to Tortola for a culinary experience. So for us, it's not only financial. Again, I like to emphasize that. I share with my team a lot that our role as well is to also educate. And we try to include that in a lot of the things we're doing. For example, we have the junior chef, so we felt it's important for him to spend some time with a professional chef. And in fact, I think, Rodney, if I'm not mistaken, we will also be including some of the students from the culinary program at the college in the cook-offs. But you can speak a little bit more on that.
So I also wanted to mention that, as Rodney said before, our aim for Restaurant Week is to highlight our local restaurants. So basically, we hold meetings with the restaurants to get their feedback and everything on Restaurant Week, and we tell them, look, you're working tirelessly to drive the traffic to your restaurant. It's up to you to secure these persons and make sure that they keep coming back to your restaurant. Whether it be a special ingredient, whether it be a special dish you include in your menu, we're not just asking them to serve their regular menu. We're asking them to come up with something unique and something compelling so that when persons come to their restaurant, they'll keep coming back. And as Mayets did last year, they did a sampler menu where basically you got an opportunity to sample everything on their menu: appetizer, main course, and dessert. So when you come back, you have already tasted everything, so you know exactly what you want to taste. And it's just a way to highlight your menu, and it's just a way to highlight your restaurant to keep persons coming back as well.
I also want to touch base, okay, a quick chance. We do, again, just things are popping into mind. It's so much that we're doing here with these events. The ferries, again, are working with us for Restaurant Week. They're offering major discounts on their tickets depending on where you're going. You have to reserve with the restaurant first. So you call ahead, you say, a party of 3, we're going to be coming to Sugarcane. And Sugarcane is going to send you back an email, a confirmation saying, yes, you know, we have received this reservation. You take that to the ferry terminal, and then you get the discount on the fare. So I want to point that out as well, that the ferries, again, they are some of our huge partners in this event. Also, we're working with the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor. When Chef Ved comes in, we want to highlight some of the folks that we have down in agriculture. We're pushing the, what is it called, from farm to table? Farm to table. So we're using this event as well to tie in with agriculture and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor there as well. So Chef Fed will be captured shopping in our local restaurants, him and Chef Arik going down to agriculture and checking out our local produce, and that is going to be incorporated into the mystery baskets that are going to be used for the cook-off.
And I just want to take this time to go ahead and highlight some of our restaurants before we take more questions that are here with us today. We have Mayette's, we have Miss Klein from Village Key, we have Sugarcane in the back, we have Soggy Dollar, and we also have Abe's by the Sea as well. These are some of our restaurants from Virgin Gorda, Tortola, and Just Van Dyke.
I guess I can sacrifice my head here. But you mentioned you're having Chef Fed, and you also mentioned some advertising some platforms in which you're marketing this event. Can you tell us the budget for this event? But if you can't tell us, as the case is always, can you maybe give us an estimate or range as to how much this is costing the...
I can tell you based on based on events like this that happens all around the world, you're going to be looking at 150, 200,000 to pull off an event like this. We're doing both events. Both events will cost the BVI less than $80,000.
Less than $80,000 could be $1,000.
Could be 1,000. It could be 70.
So what?
Less than 80. We're not going to go any further than less than 80 for both events. And I think for the magnitude of these events and what they bring to the BVI, that's what the director said. That's really where the focus should be. I know the media has its mandate, and you guys have to get to the bottom of everything. But like anything else, when the events are done, obviously things do pop up and expenses do pop up. Our books are wide open for the public to see. So at the end of the year, I'm sure you'll be able to see how much the event ultimately cost the BVI.
What of last year's cost to put on the event last year, broadly speaking?
The events didn't cost anything. Last year, we have expanded these events so much. Again, the Anegada Lobster Festival is brand new, so there's nothing to go off on for that event. For the restaurant week, the only expense that we had was the kickoff event, and that came in at $2,000, $3,000 for everything. And again, we have great partners. So you'd want to know how in the world were you guys able to pull off that great event for $2,003? Easy. We have good partners.
Let me fashion this question in a cocktail format. Mouth-watering lobster dishes. Anegada sounds great for November, December. Restaurant week activities. How many people are you anticipating would come into the BVI as a result of these new promotions, in particular the Anegada Lobster Festival? And can Anegada handle a significant number of people on the island on both days?
I wish I had some Anegadian here so that they could answer. They would tell you, yes, we can. I'll defer.
I would be, be honest and straightforward and say that it is a new activity for us. Again, we do anticipate and we expect challenges. But I've been on boat rides to Anegada. I've been on boat rides with excess of 250, 300 persons, Delusion and Anegada, all at one time, 1 hour. And Anegada has handled it fine. In visiting Anegada, the island the topography is such, it's spread out in such a way. There are lots of restaurants. There are lots of hotel rooms as well too. And I think that it's a great vehicle, and I would like for us to be very positive about what we can do for Anegada and the BVI from a tourism standpoint. And let's not shoot holes in items before we even get started. I am very, very proud of my team, who we have sitting here. I've driven them very, very hard and say, look, we have to make this happen. Our role is to do something for tourism. Our role is to expand it, and my role is to be the driver and for us to empower our team members. And that's the way that I would like us as BVI landers, and yes, I'm on my little BVI soapbox, about positivity and giving us an opportunity to try something new that I believe can be wonderful for the entire BVI, for the restaurants. It gives us a different platform. And, you know, even when we just mentioned, not Restaurant Week, when we mentioned Anegada Lobster Festival initially, 2 months ago, to one or two select media in the US, they were already so excited about wanting to share in the event and to promote it. And to that end, we're actually working on press trips during that time. One press trip to focus on the Restaurant Week, since it's spread out, and another to focus on the Anegada Lobster Fest. So let's try to be very positive in the onset. Kalita?
Projected numbers?
I just wanted to add one of the beauties about having this event, Anegada Lobster Festival and BVI Restaurant Week, when the dates were selected, it happens around Thanksgiving, which is a U.S. holiday, where many, many, many people will already be in the British Virgin Islands with their families, with their friends, with their loved ones to celebrate that. It's one of the biggest holidays in America. So that imposing this opportunity to the community of Anegada, that was very critical for them, that we had it around that time, because they will already have their rooms full. Our charter boats will already have people sailing our islands and keys, and this is just another exciting opportunity for them to experience our product. We're blessed to have a very diverse tourism product, and people all over the world are really, really capitalizing on culinary tourism. It's big. And this is an opportunity for the British Virgin Islands to join that and tap into the niche market of food aficionados, foodies, as some people like to nickname them. It's going to be very, very empowering for us as a territory and for the restaurants and the tourism industry who's in support of these events.
All right, we're going to take a couple more questions. I know Malika has a question there. And then I want to give our chef, Arika, I want you guys to hear from one of our locals who's going to be the future of our food tourism here in the BVI. So a couple more questions and then Chef Arika.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but part of the Tourist Board's mandate is to brand the territory in certain aspects. And I know you mentioned, Mr. Skelton, that the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor, they're on board. And I know the Minister of Agriculture, he's been lobbying for a while for some agricultural export. And Mrs. Flaxmars, you mentioned the difference between the spiny lobster from Anegada. Do you think that this might be the first agricultural export for the territory?
I would say that's a very, very loaded question. It can very well be an export, but we all know as well that there's a reason why we have a closed season. So it is something that would need to be looked at very, very carefully. And from a tourism perspective, that's not something that I would be able to answer. That's the question for the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor.
Skelton, I recall that you had promised that we will look at the possibility of linking the Anegada Lobster Fest with the bill fishing tournament and so forth in that area, because that too is an attractive offer. Are you still continuing that, or has there been some changes?
Yes, we're still working on sports fishing tournaments, and at the end, this is what the organization is supposed to be doing, and this is what we're working towards, is linking all of these niche markets together and promoting them territory-wide. It's not just sports fishing, it's the food festivals, it's weddings and honeymoons, and sailing and all that great stuff. So that is, if we're not doing that, then we're not doing our jobs, and all of us need to go home. I'm not ready to go home yet. So I definitely, that's something that we're doing. Once you get over to Anegada, we're really hoping that folks would spend the night. That's what we're really hoping for folks to do during the Lobster Festival. We have our staycation packages on board. And when you get over there, I don't know if anyone has done bone fishing. I'm used to doing the old school fishing. You drop a line with a little sinker and you hope you catch a red man. But if you go out and you get some fly fishing done, it's really calming, real nice. And all of there's lots being offered over in Anegada. So we're going to be promoting all of that as well. But we needed to get this out of the way, and then we're going to be able to do a lot of the other marketing. I also wanted to touch base with the sailing aspect. Just about every single sailboat charter company in the BVI has signed on board with us. They're offering discounts as well. Even before leading up to the event, we're going to be able to stick our flyers in the boats. So persons going out and you're just going out for a week. I didn't know anything about the Anegada Lobster Festival. Bam, here it is. Captain, can you get us over to Anegada on Saturday and get a chance to enjoy the Anegada Lobster Festival? So I mean, our partners are great. In my years of being here, I can say this is, if not the most, it's pretty close to the most partnerships that we have had across all of the industries in tourism. But I want to take this time. We do have a excellent young man here, Chef Arik Flax. Chef Arik, can you just let folks know what interested you in cooking? Where do you see yourself in the future? How excited are you about working with Chef Fed? Just talk to the people.
My interest came from the people that surrounded me in my childhood, like my mom, who always encouraged me to keep on doing what I'm doing, which is cooking, and my grandmother, who passed a couple years ago, who gave me some advice about in the kitchen. And for Chef Fed, I'm very excited to meet him when he gets here. As my mom told me, he's very skilled in the kitchen. So I guess I can't wait to meet him.
Where do you see yourself in the future? You have your own restaurant? What are we doing?
Well, I'm planning to go to Johnson & Wales in Miami to enhance my skills in the kitchen, and when I get back, I'm planning to try to open my own restaurant in Virgin Gorda. That's about it.
Any questions?
Sure. Just a platform for the question, Arik. You won the first annual Junior Chef Challenge in November last year. And so you're the reigning champion.
Yes.
I know it's not meant to be a competition, but tell us how you plan to give Chef Fed some of your own BVI savory taste and cooking when you actually have that cook-off with him.
What are you going to teach Chef Fed about what we do in the BVI?
Well, I do make a good pasta, so I guess I can teach him a little thing that I know about the pastas and the pizzas and the salads that I do. And yes, the ice cream, lemongrass ice cream that I do.
Lemongrass ice cream.
You make a lemongrass ice cream. Come on, people I've never heard of that before. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, it's very mouth-watering, actually.
All right, one or two more questions, and then we'll wrap up. I do want to say we do have the participating restaurants here. Again, I invite the media, even once we're done, please go over, meet with them, get a little bit of background on these restaurants as well, and help us to promote these events. That's why they're here. Ms. McPherson?
Yes, I had a question for Chef Arik. First thing, how old are you?
I just made 16 September 13th.
Okay, after you
Happy
mentioned your lemongrass ice cream, and I heard you mention about your grandmother teaching you a few things. Are there any special family recipes that you're going to use that we can look forward to?
Well, she made some good bread pudding that I liked very much. So that's about it. She didn't really teach me her basics, just the bread pudding. So, yeah.
Bread pudding. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are no more questions on air, I want to thank everyone again for coming. We do have Miss Arlene Penn here from the Premier's office. Thank you for coming. All of the participating restaurants, Chef Arik, my awesome team, all the tourist board support staff that are here, and of course, thank you to media. Lots more is going to be coming out. Our whole marketing plan is going to be full force. Just about every week, you're going to be hearing something. We do have our online marketing team here. Go to our Facebook pages. Please don't ask me them. They're in your kit. I would not remember all the backslash and HTTP and all of that stuff. But we are online. Help us to promote these events and get more folks coming in. You folks who have databases from your old guests, please reach out to them, shoot them out. If you guys need the graphics for anything that we've done in-house, the creative flyers, whatever, boom, one email from either myself, Meslin Kalita, or Shireen in the back. We'll get it out to you. Help us to drive these two wonderful events.
I just wanted to also add that we'll be sending you digital media kits, so you'll have the files that you have printed and an additional file that provides more information in its entirety. And I just want to thank you again, and I want to thank the restaurants from Anegada who were not able to necessarily make it today, but they're all very excited, and I just want to thank everyone.